Hi, my name is Victoria Carrington. I am a co-chair of the Utah State Bar Innovation and Law Practice Committee, and today I'm going to be talking about prompt engineering for lawyers. Now, this isn't going to be coding or computer science. Really, all this is going to be is a discussion on how lawyers can provide better input to AI tools and hopefully receive more accurate, more useful, and more ethically responsible outputs. So, if you've ever used an AI tool and thought that the response it gave you was garbage, maybe the issue actually was with your prompt. What is prompt engineering? One way to think about prompt engineering is it's simply the practice of giving an AI tool clear, structured, and constrained instructions. So keep in mind a couple things. Artificial intelligence doesn't know the nuances of practicing law, and it certainly doesn't know nuances about the field of law that you practice in. You've been trained. You've been doing this for many years. You have expertise. You've got to use it. AI also doesn't understand your clients like you do. It doesn't know your risk tolerance, and also AI will hallucinate, which means it will make stuff up. You've probably heard about many various instances where people have gotten in trouble for hallucinating court cases and citing that. So keep in mind that AI is really trying to tell you what it thinks you want to hear. And so pushing back on it can be an important thing to remember. So really, what becomes your job as the attorney using AI tools? It's to set up guardrails across various AI tools, whether you're using Copilot, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, others. The principles I'm about to talk about for prompt engineering are largely the same, even though the interfaces are going to differ. So in terms of overall prompt engineering principles, what I want you to remember is this. If you want reliable AI outputs, follow the rules. R stands for role and jurisdiction. U is for understand the task. L stands for limits. E stands for expected format. And S stands for say when it's wrong. This little mnemonic, rules, can help you to craft better prompts and hopefully get better outputs from your AI tools. So we're going to break these down and talk about all of them. R standing for role and jurisdiction. AI is going to perform best when you tell it who to be. Give it a persona. Help it understand who you want it to be. And a lot of times it's basically going to look like you telling the AI exactly who you are. So for example, a lot of my prompts start off with, you are a US patent attorney. Depending on your situation and your practice, assigning a persona and specifying a jurisdiction might sound something like, you are an employment attorney in the state of Utah. You are in-house counsel for a software company. You are the supervising attorney reviewing the attached contract drafted by one of your junior associates. And in some instances, it might be helpful to consider giving your AI a role that has nothing to do with your current role. Help you explore how others might respond. You could give it a prompt like, you are a judge, or you are opposing counsel, and help it find weaknesses in your arguments, or otherwise help you explore different perspectives. An important thing to note when it comes to specifying jurisdiction is that AI tools do not default to Utah law or to the 10th Circuit. If your jurisdiction matters, that's worth specifying. So put that in your prompt. Also, some things to consider are specifying whether you're dealing with state or federal law, which state or circuit you're in, and also whether you're in trial or appellate court. So hopefully that gives you some things to consider when it comes to role and jurisdiction. The next thing we're going to talk about is U, which stands for understand the task. And the way I like to think about this is that silly demonstration where you're trying to help someone create a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and they take everything extremely literally. You have to tell them to open up the jar, to stick the knife into the peanut butter, or else it will mess up. So you really want to the extent you can, list out a specific sequence of events that you want and give it more concrete terms. Don't use vague things like analyze or help with if you can avoid it. Instead, use things like draft or rewrite, summarize, compare. Using those verbs might be helpful to make sure that it gives you exactly the output you want. The next thing we're going to talk about is limits. L stands for limits. And this is a good way to push yourself as you're coming up with prompts for your AI to remember to give it constraints. This hopefully can save you from reviewing a lot of AI slop. If you don't set limits on it, a lot of the AI tools will return extremely long prompts or extremely long answers that have nothing to do with what you wanted. So do things like give it word limits. Often I will tell it specifically, give me a response that's no more than 250 words. You can tell it if you want things like bullet points, or if you do want it in narrative form. Do you want it in plain English, or are you writing for a legal audience? Basically, if it's something you want it to do, let it know in the prompt. And something to keep in mind, even if you give it constraints, is that AI can definitely still hallucinate, even if you tell it not to. But here's a couple ideas that might be able to help you avoid hallucinations. Prompt language you might want to consider is do not cite case law unless confident, or giving it an instruction to flag any uncertainty rather than guessing. Also, adding in something like a requirement to your prompt that specifies that assertions must be backed up with a specific number of citations or examples can help push the AI to give you better outputs. The next part of rules that we're going to talk about is E, which stands for expected format. This can also hopefully save you a lot of heartache. Really don't take for granted that the AI, will give you an output based off of what it thinks you want. And so specify exactly what you want. If it's a Word document, if it's a PDF, if you want certain headings or tables, if you want an image generated, all of those things are things that you can tell it to format in, and assuming it's a tool equipped to generate that type of document, then it should give you that output. And lastly, the last part of rules we're going to talk about is S, say when it's wrong. Evaluate responses that it gives you with a critical eye. Don't just accept that the AI is in charge, because it's not, you are. If the AI gets something wrong, or even just if it's not doing something to your liking, let it know. Often if you don't correct a mistake, it will continue to either regenerate that same mistake, or it will use assumptions it's made earlier in the chat and kind of compound on those errors. So if you catch an error, my suggestion is either explicitly correct it, or also maybe consider even just refreshing, starting a whole new chat, having it delete its memory, so that that mistake doesn't pop up later on and bite you. Most generative AI tools do allow you to go back and forth with the AI and give it feedback. So if it's just a minor tweak, often what I would recommend is having it use track changes or otherwise explicitly explain the changes that it made, so that you can more carefully review any edits or revisions it does. Also, again, if you want reliable AI outputs, remember to follow the rules. So now we're gonna switch. I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna try out some of these prompts actually. I'm gonna start this in a new chat just so that it doesn't try to build off of that. So this is gonna be our longer prompt example. So here I'm specifying that I'm a Utah employment attorney. I want it to specifically focus on summarizing the enforceability of employee non-compete agreements under Utah law as of 2025, so giving it a time frame. I want it to focus on statutory requirements, common pitfalls, and recent trends. And then I also give it an explicit instruction that if the law is unsettled, flag uncertainty rather than treating it like it's just the answer. So let's see how this one goes. Still generating. So again, my bad. If I don't specify the length that I want, it's gonna default to giving me a lot. It's nice because it is giving me the categories I specifically asked for, but again, there's some things in here that I might not necessarily be looking for, like things very specific to broadcasting or healthcare. So it's also that thing where I think it's worthwhile to try it out, figure out what works for you in your practice of law. So not being scared to start with a prompt like this and then refine it over time to help build up a knowledge base. And also, as you use the AI tools more and more, it will come to better understand your practice, the tone you like to use. So don't ignore that either. Over time, hopefully the AI tools just get better and better for your use. But some things, again, that I want to note about using a longer prompt. One, using a longer prompt might have actually resulted in why we got a longer response, but it is nice that it does give me things like a governing framework, gives me common pitfalls. I like that it's actually giving me statutory requirements, which I specifically asked for. So hopefully this response would be more helpful as a starting point, and then from there I could continue to ask it questions if there's anything that I want to hone in on, or maybe, summarize this information in one paragraph for a non-legal audience. So, a much more manageable thing to review. Utah generally allows non-compete agreements, but with strict limits. I'm not actually an employment lawyer, so I'm not necessarily gonna weigh in on the accuracy of this prompt, but again, as a tool, this can be a useful place to start. If this is your area of law, I'd love for you to come back and let us know what you think of this response. There's also lots of different ways in your legal practice that you can use AI tools, not necessarily for things that are, within your firm or for clients, but, say you wanted to use it to post something on LinkedIn, or you wanted to otherwise, use AI tools. Also consider that the way you write those prompts can also greatly enhance or hinder the way that you get outputs. One of the examples that I wanted to do, because I find Copilot a really useful tool because it can do things like automatically help you in Outlook with your emails, or it can help you with Microsoft Word documents directly, is using it to kind of do more client management or docket management type tasks. So something you might want your AI tool to do is help you draft an email. So draft an email to my client telling them that we are not going to the response today. So this would just be a general prompt not following the rules. Hopefully not a bad prompt, but we'll see. So the Copilot is taking a couple seconds to get that drafted. So it helped me identify that, yep, no specific recipient was identified. It gives me a subject line though, that could be helpful. I wanted to provide a quick update regarding the response currently in progress. We will not be able to complete and file the response today as initially anticipated. To ensure that we have sufficient time to finalize the response carefully and address all issues thoroughly, we will be filing for an extension time with the USPTO. So, maybe not a bad email if you're really having trouble getting something started. Maybe not a bad way to do this. You can see that it comes directly with this button to edit in Outlook, so that might be nice. Let's see if we try to optimize this for following the rules. So, role, you are and obviously you can tell this Copilot defaulted to knowing it was a patent attorney because it's mine. But you are let's see, like you are an associate preparing an email to go to supervising attorney. So that's my role. I don't really need to specify a jurisdiction. I think it will understand that we're within our own law firm. Okay, Okay, so we've got our role. We need to understand the task. Using a polite but concise tone, inform the partner we are unable to alter. So understanding the task that we want it to do is giving an explanation for why we can't file this office action response today. In terms of L limits, giving it a specific constraint to not be too long. Expected format, so it knows that it's preparing an email. It also knows to use a polite and concise tone. So then say when it's wrong, we'll correct it after we see what kind of output it gives us. Well, it certainly looks like it's under 100 words. That is nice and concise. So, office action response, filing status, hi partner name. We are unable to file the office action response today as we're still awaiting final approval from in-house counsel. Once approval is received, we will proceed promptly. Proceed promptly with filing. Please let us know if you would like us to consider an extension of time in the interim. Okay, so say when it's wrong. So something that I know from practicing in this area is that we don't actually need to file an extension of time right now. We can actually wait. You pay for extensions of time when we file the response. So please remove that sentence. Time. I'm going to throw that in there just to see how it reacts to something like an acronym. Because it's nice if your tools are able to understand your lingo and make your life a little bit easier in that way. So saying when it's wrong, helping it understand things that it should take out, things that it should add. Yep, so I mean, maybe it caught on to the fact that I started typing out extension of time, but also training it on acronyms that you use often, or again, things specific to your field. If there's common words that you use, that can be helpful. Hi partner name, we're unable. So again, nice quick email, could copy and paste that directly into Outlook, add my name and send it off after reviewing. So that's another example. Let's looking at ChatGPT. Another thing to consider with prompt engineering is it's not always typing things out. Your prompts can be spoken into a microphone. A lot of people now, especially if you're doing it on your phone, speech to text might be a much easier way to actually go about prompt engineering. So we're gonna hit this. You are a Utah State attorney preparing to give a CLE presentation on AI use in the legal profession. You're going to be talking about ethics and different rules that they need to consider. So please provide a checklist of different parts of the rules of professional conduct that we need to make sure to hit on in the CLE presentation. Give a checklist of no more than 10 items and generate this as a Word document that I can download. Also make sure to draft an email so that I can send it to the other attorneys collaborating with me on this CLE presentation about what this checklist is. Okay, so that was speech to text. So we can kind of quickly scan to make sure that it got what I wanted in the prompt. But if you think about how long that would take me to type out, great, looks like it got everything that I talked about. So again, giving it a role. I'm here in Utah, I'm an attorney, I'm getting ready for a CLE presentation. Helping it understand the task, letting it know that I'm specifically going to be talking about the topic of ethics, and that in terms of what it needs to generate for me, it's going to give me a checklist with the different rules of professional conduct related to AI and ethics, giving it limits, making sure that the checklist isn't more than 10 items, because I don't think it should be longer than that, and I don't need it to just give me a really long output. And then also giving it expected format, letting it know that I want it as a Word document. That way, I don't have to go copy and paste it myself. So, and then I just wanted to see, giving it an additional limitation of giving me a draft email just to really check out its different capabilities. So let's see what it gives us. Okay, funny. At least what I'm suspecting from this is that the draft email is actually also in the Word document, is what I think it's telling me. So that will be kind of interesting, because that's not necessarily what I wanted. So that might be a say when it's wrong. Okay, well, this is what it's giving me as an output. It is a Word document. That's nice. Maybe not necessarily my style of, like final work product, but at least, seems fairly readable. Does feel like it gave me bullet points instead of a checklist, but, close. Gives me different rules. These are definitely different ones that, at least on an initial glance, seem like the ones that we're already planning on talking about. So that seems to check out. Yep, and then here it is. It's giving me this draft email also in the Word document. So just in conclusion, maybe we'll go over some of the other common things to remember about AI ethics and risk. Again, these AI tools are not authorized to practice law. You are. Some best practices to keep in mind are never rely on AI for final citations. Verify all legal statements. Do not input confidential client data unless you know that you're specifically working with an AI tool where you have something like a business license, where there are approved safeguards in place, your firm has a policy for AI use, the client is informed that you're using AI. Definitely keep in mind client confidentiality throughout this process. And then maybe one of the best things to keep in mind is to treat AI output like it's junior work product. You have a supervisory role. You need to make sure that the work product that you sign your name to is actually up to snuff. So the lawyers who are going to benefit the most from generative AI are not the ones who use it the most, but the ones who actually instruct it the best. And that's why prompt engineering is a great skill to learn. Final takeaway is really, again, if you want reliable AI outputs, follow the rules. You're going to tell the AI who it is, where it is, what it's doing, how careful it needs to be, and tell it when it's wrong. That's prompt engineering for lawyers. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or anyone else on the Innovation in Law Practice Committee. We're here to help you and really want you to be able to make the most out of these AI tools.